My peoples. So I stepped out real quick so I could send out the link. My brother Greg Hackett is gonna join the show. We're gonna talk boxing a little bit. Yo, Greg, I sent you the link via Facebook. You know, there's real boxing talk over here, my people. But like I was telling y'all earlier before I stepped out, look, for whatever reason, there's people that's content with spreading a fake narrative about a fighter. And whether you agree with me or not, whether you don't like my opinion, you never gonna see me say nothing that I'm saying it just to get clout or just to get attention or just trying to, be the first one to say it. I don't make stuff up out of thin air, my peoples. I don't fabricate shit. Anything I say, you can fact check me. You know what I could get wrong? Maybe I could get wrong a date. I could be like, yeah, when these guys fought in 99 and some goofball show up, you don't know shit about boxing. They fought in 98. Oh shit, I forgot a date. Shut the hell up. There's certain details that I may not remember correctly, but I'm never just gonna make some shit up out of thin air, my peoples. I don't do that. Nah, I don't do that, my people. John Parham, run the lights up. Greg a dog with the boxing in these YouTube streams. Oh, nah, listen, my brother. Greg Hackett is somebody who knows his shit. He's in boxing. He is in boxing. And you can hear it from somebody and say, okay then. You don't want to hear it from me? Yeah. Let him tell you what it is, how it is. Hold on, my peoples. I'm reaching out to Greg so we can make this happen for y'all. But while I reach out to Jay Will, I saw Greg Hackett versus Brian Norman Sr. boxing match live. Oh, you was there live? Listen, man, I like the fact that they was able to build up the interest. They made it happen. They both got their bag. Awesome to see. And I always say it. I'm not with an older fighter facing a young guy. I'm not with that. I'm not with it. You have a Manny Pacquiao. You have a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Okay, he a special fighter. He fought somebody that's young and went to a draw. But still, in most cases, an older fighter should not be going up against a young gun. And I'll be okay. I'm okay with two guys in their late 30s or two guys in their 40s fighting each other. I'm okay with it. Shit, I'm 47 years old. If I can find somebody in their mid 40s to fight me, yeah, I'm in the ring. I'm in the ring, my peoples. Telling you that right now. I watch it live as well. J. Will, pure comedy. Man, listen. Greg and Brian was going at it, trading leather, trying to bang each other out. that, and I'm sure. And you know what's interesting? What you don't know that happened, what you don't realize, because you're not feeling what the fighters are feeling. You're watching it from the outside looking in. It goes the distance. Nobody got knocked out. But you don't know what those two in there are exchanging. What they feeling. Bam, bam, bam. When you catch me with a good one. And one thing that I could tell you, sometimes when we watch fights on TV, when we watch them on TV, there's punches and little things that happen that we don't catch, that we don't notice. John Parham, JSmiff, you should put Greg in the description. Um, Hold on. Let me put the description from here. Now that I think about it, hold on one second. I want to add an image on there. I'm gonna add an image. So, damn, I don't think. Oh, I don't. I don't think it. Can I? Let me see. Hold on. Nah, that's it. I can't change the name during the live. I can't change the name during the live. Well, something new I just found out. Yeah, I can't. I can't change it. Hold on one second. Oh, here we go. Here we go, my people. Here we go, my peoples. Bam. Salute, my brother.
What's going on? You hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine, my brother.
What's going on? How you feeling?
Feeling good, my brother. How you feeling this Saturday morning?
I'm chilling, man. Hey, I ain't realized how early you be getting on this drink.
I'll be on at 6 a.m., my G.
Nah,
Boxing
that's
for
what's up.
breakfast, bro. Boxing for breakfast.
For sure.
So, Greg, just to give you a little bit of the concept of what's going on over here, right? Um, Basically, my G, I used to wake up in the morning trying to figure out who's gonna win tonight, or damn, I hope these guys fight. Just thinking about it, and the problem is, as most real boxing fans, our families ain't hardcore boxing fans like we is. I'm not gonna get up talking to my wife about this shit. She don't want to hear that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I feel like a lot of us is in the same boat where we will be going back and forth about boxing in the morning, having breakfast, going to work, but we don't have that person to go at it with. So I say, you know
Right.
what? We need boxing for breakfast, so we do have somebody to go at it with.
Real shit.
And there be niggas eating breakfast at 6:30 in the morning arguing with me right here. So I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling it. You know, that's what we do.
No, that's for real. You right. We here.
Greg, talk to me about tonight, my brother. Matter, wait. Before we get to tonight, before we
Hmm.
get to tonight, as somebody who has been in the ring, who has the experience that you have, who's around fighters 24/7, around coaches, around you, elite at the highest level, the people at the highest level, you've seen them right there.
Yeah.
I ask you this question, my brother. How come we see a narrative on social media to discredit the most accomplished fighters in the game? What is
Yeah.
this narrative about?
I think what it is, we seen Mayweather make a lot of money, right? And they basically saying, what I think they saying is, we're not letting nobody do that again. We're not letting nobody get to that level. Maybe Canelo, but after that, we ain't doing that again. You know what I mean? Because they feel like it got out of hand. Mayweather changed boxing. He changed the mindset of a lot of fighters. You know what I'm saying? Even in the amateurs, he changed the mindset. So I think what they try to do is they try to belittle guys as much as they can with any little thing to keep the pay rate down. You know what I mean? We'll let you make 10 million. We'll maybe let you make 15 million, but we're not letting nobody make 50 million, 100 million. We're not doing that again. You know what I mean? Because when you making that kind of money, imagine the money that the people making that's running the business. Imagine the money they making, or imagine the venues, imagine what they making, things like that. And it's not that they don't want to make that money again. It's just that the fighter has too much control now. When the guy is guaranteed to make $150 million, you think he gonna just be a yes man? Nah, he gonna be making crazy requests. He gonna be talking to people crazy, and like they don't want to deal with that. They want a guy to take any kind of money they putting out and be like, yo, you know what I mean? You gonna fight this guy and be like, okay, all right, that's okay, okay. Cause you notice in boxing, they use the word opportunity a lot. This is the
Yeah,
opportunity, an opportunity. Yeah, but how many opportunities can I get? Like, come on, bro. at some point y'all like what y'all see. You know what I mean? Y'all keep trying to say opportunity, shit like that. Or they try to say things like nobody else is getting this chance. You know what I mean? You getting it like, bro, I wouldn't be here if I couldn't fight, bro. Like let's be real. We wouldn't be watching Canelo versus Bud if Bud couldn't fight. If Bud couldn't fight, and we wouldn't even though Canelo has been in there with some guys, and you'd be like, why is he fighting that guy right now? You know what I mean? But Canelo's a great fighter, and Bud is a great fighter. That's why we see in this fight. You know what I mean? So I
Okay,
think it
but
got a lot to do with money. My bad.
no, 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 no. And I appreciate you giving me that explanation because you're also giving some insight to boxing fans and an angle that you can only say from the inside looking out.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, Greg, as black men that
Mm-hmm.
we are, and
Mm-hmm.
as folks who support the sport of boxing,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for anyone to convince me that they could give me something to discredit Terence Crawford. Because all I'm saying is this dude is a role model in real life. Daddy take care of his kids, take care of his household, and then as a professional has only been a great fighter.
Mm-hmm.
If I try to shit on him, I'm gonna feel like a sellout, bro. I'm gonna feel like I'm a sellout. How
Yeah.
can I even do that? So how or okay, is there money or is there interest being moved around to make people discredit him like the way that they're doing it?
Yeah, man, I think so. Because what has he done wrong for us to be on his tail like this? You know what I mean? And then listen, I'm gonna be real, right? I'm gonna say some real shit. You, I could tell, are a confident person, right? I never met you in real life, but I know from watching you right now, I could tell you're a confident person. The people, the people that run these businesses, they're not confident people. So what they do is they push their power, and that's how they feel confident. Cause I can't beat this guy that we got fighting. I can't beat him. If I try to disrespect him, he might break my jaw. You know what I mean? But you know what I can do? I could pay a couple people to go out there and bash him. Because if he never been in trouble for steroids, why is that the big thing? You know what I'm saying? Why is that the big thing? I think the shit with the gloves should be more of an issue if y'all gonna talk. You know what I mean? Because that's something that we seen before from him. Like, yo, how did that happen? But the shit with the steroids, that's like crazy. Like, come on, man, y'all pushing it. You know what I
And
mean?
then we've seen Canelo test positive and serve a suspension.
Mm,
So we're taking a conspiracy because this is something, Greg, that I want to hear your opinion on this. I would love to hear your opinion, my G. Check this
hmm.
out. I've been in jail, my brother.
Yeah.
God, I thank God, praise the Lord that I'm a changed man. Was able to change my life around, got my family, my job, changed it around. I'm one of the ones that was able to switch it up. Cool
Hmm.
story. Taking that into account, when you look at a fighter like Terence Crawford and where he is today,
Hmm.
can we say that he is arguably the most hated fighter in boxing without a reason to hate him?
Yeah. I would say that. I would say that. Cause here's the thing. We don't know him for disrespecting people. We don't know him for doing, you know how like Tank be getting in trouble outside the game? We don't know him for that. You know what I'm saying? We know him for boxing. We know him for winning. So what like what's the reason? So I agree. I agree with that.
I don't understand it. And and the one thing is, when we look at Terence Crawford, look at his resume, does he really have a bad resume? Or do people just hold a different standard, a different measurement for
Yeah.
the resume?
Yeah. The only people who say he have a bad resume is people who don't know boxing. People don't know. I realized this. We was watching Gamboa back in 2009, 10, 11, 12. So a lot of people A lot of people ain't become boxing fans. That I'm talking about a lot of people we see now until the movie Creed came out. Creed came out, then that's when all these new fans pulled up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people ain't see Gamboa at his height. They don't know how good Gamboa is. A lot of people don't know Lomachenko. They only heard about him. A lot of people don't know Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't really know Earl Spence. They just hear about him. And then they watched a couple fights and they're like, oh, that's my favorite fighter. It's a lot of that going on now. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. You know what I mean? So people, a lot of these people now, they don't know nothing about boxing. They're not really boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? They just became a fan because somebody was talking about it. It sound fun. A movie came out. Oh, here we go. So now you got all these new, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it, but the thing is, we used to have to educate ourselves. When we started learning about boxing early on, we was hearing about fighters that was retired before we was born. You know what I'm saying? We hearing about all these old fighters and we going in the gym talking to all the old heads and stuff like that. But now it's like, well, who's hot now? Oh, it's Canelo, it's Terence Crawford. All right, well, that's my favorite fighter. Now you got all these people arguing and shit. Like it's like kind of ridiculous now. You know what I mean?
And one thing that I'm sure you have noticed, why is it that back in the day people was arguing boxing and they was arguing about what was happening inside the ring. We was
Yeah.
arguing about who got the better left hook. He got the better left hook. And then you hit me with the yeah, he got the better left hook, but he got the better footwork. Oh, he
Right.
got the better footwork, but who got more power? We going back and forth about why we think this guy's gonna beat this guy. This new generation is going back and forth about who's selling more pay-per-views, and it's going back and forth about who made more money in the last fight. I'm not entertained about your bank account, bro.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah. That's real rap. And that comes from the bookworms. You know what I'm saying? You, like you said, you spent some time in jail. That's because you've been outside. What that means is you're a man of experience. I mean, you gotta touch it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna believe the first thing somebody tell me. I want to see myself.
Gotta
Lem-
taste it.
yeah, let me see what's up. Yeah. Now you got these guys, where I call them bookworms, because now what they do is they try to research anything they can to get a point. So, like you said, we talking about the actual fight. And then now you like, oh no, but pay-per-view says he's 300,000 pay-per-views. You like, bro, what that got to do with the fight? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's taken away from the art of it. Yeah, you're right. It's taken away from the art.
That's it. We not that focus that we used to have about what's happening inside the ring, what this fighter's accomplishing. Now we have guys who are main talking point is who makes more money, who's putting butts in seats. But I'm gonna tell you, I feel like the guilty party of that is Al Heyman and the PBC.
Mm.
And just hear me out. And I say
Hmm.
why.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time where it was Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter? They had those three titles, and they kind of like left butt in the cold, right? And at
Yep.
that time, the main talking point with these guys, we're the one that's making the most money. We making millions. Show me the money. Like that became the main talking point of PBC and their fighters. That they're the ones that are making the most money. And
Hmm.
slowly but surely, I saw that argument trickle down into the fan base to where now they started making that argument, and we see it right now. Fans arguing about money. That was never the case before.
You're right. You're right. Because they was, what was crazy? When they was interviewing those guys, when they made the switch from Golden Boy over to PBC, the big thing was we making more money over here. We making more money over here. They paying us more. You know what I mean? So it went from that to now we won't fight you unless you over here. You got to be on this side of the street. You know what I mean? So then they tried to like I guess I guess what Al Heyman was doing was monopolizing the game where he was forcing guys to come over there and fight. But the thing is, it kind of separated the game where we wouldn't see certain fights unless they was under his umbrella, and that was tough to watch when you think about it because some fights we missed out on. You know what I mean? We should have seen, to be honest, we should have seen a Terence Crawford versus Danny Garcia because they had history from the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? They had shared wins in the amateurs, so it was like a 1-to-1 thing with them, and we should have seen that in the pros, but we didn't get to see it. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
And Crawford versus Keith. Crawford versus Keith, they were champions simultaneously. That's a fight that we missed.
Right, right, right.
Because at that time Crawford was still with top rank. But another thing that I wanted to point out, Greg, how come one thing, because I told you, I've been locked up in the past, but I boxed as an amateur, right? And at 19 years old, I took a loss in the Golden Gloves in New York City. And after I took that loss, the streets, the shorties, the back in them days, the Jack Daniels took over, and I kind of went south, right?
Yeah,
So I quit boxing, but I always stood tapped in. I always stayed tuned to what was going on.
yeah.
I trained in Gleason's gym, so I met Zab Judah over there when he was like 12-0. So I always I stayed in touch with him in Instagram. He followed me, I follow him back. So I try to stay in touch with what's going on with boxing, right? At 44 years old, Greg, my whole life I've been like, damn, I never turned pro, man. I never turned pro. I never fought. And at 44 years old, I said, damn, yo, what the fuck is stopping me from fighting though? And when
Hmm.
I really thought about it, the only thing stopping me from fighting was me, because I know a promoter out here, and I know where the gym, I know where everything is. I could train. What was really? And then one day I just woke up and like at 7 in the morning, I hit up the promoter. Yo, I need to fight. Find me an opponent. He found me a guy that was 35 years old, 9 years younger than me, bigger, stronger. I was like, I don't care. I gotta fight. I can't become an old man without stepping in the ring. I can't be that guy.
Hmm.
And at 44 years old, my G, I made my pro debut.
My
Got
man.
my fight in. I'm gonna send you a
My-
link so you can check it out. We went 4 rounds. I lost a decision. I dropped my opponent. He dropped me. Competitive. We
yeah,
went the distance.
my man. Congratulations, though.
Appreciate you, my G.
Yeah.
There was no way I was gonna. There was no way that my life story was gonna pass and me say I never step in the ring as a professional. It couldn't happen. It was no way.
Right, right. And people don't
So,
know that feeling, man. That's a great feeling.
my God,
Yeah,
you know that feeling when you back there and they putting on your gloves, and then when you walking out, and
yeah,
then when you make eye contact for the first time with your opponent,
yeah,
and then the people that fought, because I fought as an amateur, I know what that is. It's a big difference to get in there with no headgear. Them punches feel different. It's a
yeah,
whole different ball game to get hit
yeah.
with no headgear, and people don't understand that. And also I would say, when you fight as an amateur, because you know there's not a lot of knockouts in the amateur game, you're
Right,
trying to outpoint each other. Tap,
right.
tap, tap. You're trying to outpoint each other. But when you fight in the pros and you know this, you're trying to hurt each other. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
We want to put hurt on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we sign a contract that say you get killed out there, oh
Hey,
well,
yeah,
that's a different story.
yeah.
So how do people that never had none of these experiences be acting like they experts in this matter, bro?
I mean, I think where that starts is, I mean, and now we seeing it more where they letting fighters be the commentators. But in the beginning, it was always a guy who he just could speak well. You know what I mean? So because he can speak well, we gonna teach him some terminology, and we gonna make him think, he know what's going on because he watching. And we got him watching certain stuff, even though he only seeing boxing at the top level because he only here for the TV. Otherwise, he don't give a fuck about boxing. It started with that. Then it started with so many managers and promoters that jump in the game just because they got money, they end up finding out this shit is like the dog business for real. You know what I mean? And you only gonna get the love when you win. So I seen a lot of managers jump in the game, promoters, and fall right out of the game within the same year or 2 years because they didn't realize how much money it took. You know what I'm saying? Or they didn't have the right fighter to keep it going. So they lost love for it because they're like, yo, I'm just losing money. And then as you started seeing more boxing in the movies, the creeds and all that stuff, I'm gonna keep talking about Creed because that thing that hyped a lot of people up.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause me being a coach, I realized when Creed come out, it's a lot of people trying to sign up to box after that. You know what I'm saying? And then you got like a lot of little street boxing leagues. It's a lot of little shit going on. So now you got people who think they know boxing because they sit on YouTube and they watch all of this shit. They watch the movies, they watch the little boxing, little whatever they got on there. Like, you got guys teaching boxing, you got guys talking boxing. So if somebody sit there long enough and listen to some stuff, they think they know. So then they start their own shit. They might start a channel or they might start trying to coach and shit like that just to be around the game. And then now they think they're expert after a year. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. It's like, it
But
I
let me
mean,
say something. Let me
yeah,
say something.
yeah,
How many? Because you're an actual expert in boxing, right?
hmm
But let me ask you: Have you? How many more or less movies off the top of your head have you seen where people flying a plane? Have you seen Top Gun?
yeah.
Seen Top Gun. And have you seen other movies similar to that?
You see,
Where somebody flying a plane. You've seen more movies, right?
yeah, yeah,
So let me ask you this though. And you've seen videos, commercials, shit like that.
yeah.
But can you really comment on flying planes like you an expert?
No, you gotta go to school.
There's just no fucking way. That shit
No.
would be delusional. So you can sit here and school everybody on boxing because you have that inside knowledge. But
hmm
that's not gonna make you a plane expert because all the shit that you seen on YouTube.
hmm
The truth is, the honest truth, neither one of us know shit about flying a plane.
hmm
No matter how many videos we watch, no matter what terminology we can real quick, we can Google some. I could Google some nice terminologies right now and sound like a pilot, but that doesn't mean I know about it.
Yeah.
But in boxing, people think that they can watch videos and Google shit and argue with you and me
hmm And
and
that's
challenge your opinion. Like,
and
nah,
that's
you don't know.
and that's the people that we have out here now. Yeah, I mean, they and it's bad because the people that don't know would see the thing is now today. People look for what's popular. They don't look for what's real. They look for what's popular. So once they see something popular, oh well, this guy got 100,000 subscribers. So then they don't know that that guy don't know. He just good with the computers. He good with making it look good. You know what I'm saying? So they go on there and they listen to everything he say, and then I hear they don't know that I hear the same thing that guy was saying in the video. You using in an argument in the barbershop. And you're like, what? Like, bro, where you get that from? Like,
And it could be word for word the
yeah,
same argument.
that's what I'm saying. That's how it sound though. You be like, man, you be like, you got that shit from YouTube. You know what I mean? But when you talk, I mean, I don't know, it's fucked up, man. You ain't lying. It's fucked
And,
up.
and, and look, these YouTubers, the main strategy that they're using is the discredit an opponent strategy. So I'll
Yeah.
give you an example, right? When we're talking about Terence Crawford, they be like, nah, but Sean Porter was washed when he beat him. But,
Yeah.
but look, I hate trying to make it a talking point to discredit an opponent. We could say stuff about an opponent, but that's never gonna be my talking point. Like if I go tick for tack with them, I got endless receipts to tear them apart. Because then I could be like, oh, Porter was washed. He was 34 years old. Name me all of the Canelo champions that he beat, and let's see how many of them was 34 or older. Let's see how long that list is gonna be. So I could go tick for tack, but I got mad respect for Canelo, so I don't need to discredit his opponent. I
Right.
acknowledge him as a great fighter.
Right.
But people are bent on saying Porter was washed and Amir Khan was no good and Madrimov he really lost to Madrimov and Errol Spence the car accident. It's like you literally try to diminish every single win in his resume.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And that's crazy about the Earl Spence because Earl Spence won. He came back and won some fights, some big fights after the accident. And it's like, come on, man.
Beat Danny Garcia and Ugas.
Yeah,
Championship caliber fighters.
yeah. And we wasn't even talking about the car accident.
I made a video saying, yo, so Errol Spence got in a car accident, healed. The car accident went away. He beat two championship caliber fighters, but the accident came back when he was gonna fight Crawford.
Yep. Yep.
Apparently,
No, that's real shit.
Greg, Dylan
Mm-hmm.
White, Dylan White, Moses Itauma, they're gonna mix it up tonight, man. Moses Itauma, he only 20 years old, man. I believe in the kid. I think he passed the eye test with flying colors. I want to hear your take, man. What do you see?
Hey man, I think that's a real good fight for that kid, but it's a dangerous fight. Dylan White is he's not real big height wise, but he got long arms and he could hurt you. He throws some wild punches. You know what I mean? But he's like unpredictable. And I think he fights at a pace that's going to be exciting for Moses because Moses is going to be forced to throw. But he's sharp. Moses is sharp though. And he could punch. You know what I mean? He got good skills. He patient. Good defense. So I'm just intrigued and I'm just looking to see how he handled the pressure because they saying that Dillian White, this is the best shape he's been in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So that means he coming to work. So we got to see how Itauma can handle the pressure and if his punch is effective with a Dillian White. You know what I mean? Who's considered like a world class heavyweight, even though he's not champion, but he's of the top level because he's fought a lot of them guys. You know what I'm saying? And he got some good wins. So I think the kid wins. I think Itama wins, but I think it's gonna be tough before he get the win. And I think he probably was if he could catch if he could counter a lot of what Dillian White is trying to do, I think he could stop him like in the fifth or sixth round. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be like I think he gonna get caught with some good shots before it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And I'm glad. First of all, I didn't say this when you jumped in earlier, but
Yeah,
Greg, I really appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time this morning. I know you
yeah,
just woke your ass up, so I
yeah,
appreciate you, my brother. You know, to me, getting this insight from you is super important. And you know why?
yeah,
Because right now the people get to see someone, an actual boxing expert, an actual boxing coach and insider telling them Dillian White is a threat. He's for real. I
yeah,
said this yesterday, and I had people jumping in the chat talking about, oh, he's washed, he's easy work, he's a nobody. People that are not in the sport don't understand how much of a threat he actually is.
yeah, dangerous, man. And then people don't understand the heavyweights, they giants. You talking about that boy weighed in at 244 yesterday. That's a giant. You know what I mean? If that motherfucker hit you, he could hurt you. You know what I mean? So people don't understand about heavyweights. Even if the skills is not that good, they so big that if they connect, they could get you out. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful at heavyweight. That's why they get paid the most money because the knockout ratio is very high. You know what I'm saying? So, we know what it is.
Yo, Greg, John Parham says that you getting up before 8 in the morning is a record for you.
No, that's true. That's true. Now I be up. See, I be up with my daughter, but I don't be up on the computer.
I feel
I'll
you,
be
I
on the
feel you.
you know what I'm saying? So he right.
But you already know, man, this boxing for breakfast where you're gonna get your healthy dosage of sweet science, Greg. I'm
Eh,
telling you.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I got you.
this fight with with Savage,
Mm,
um, and Nova.
yeah,
I think Nova's being downplayed by a lot of people. I think that he's a good fighter.
yeah.
I got Ray Savage winning that fight, but I think it's gonna be competitive. What you see happening in that fight?
I think so too. It's just all right. So when we get about around 6 or 7, Abraham Nova always slow down. But I don't know. But the crazy thing is, I can't all the way tell if it's a mental thing or a physical thing, because he continues to fight, but you could see the change of pace where he slowed down. I think if I think if Nova take his time and just let his body warm up and let everything warm up, I think he can make a better fight than what we believe. But like you said, I do believe Ray Savage is going to win the fight because he's the guy that got the momentum right now. He's looking stronger at 130. He's looking more confident at 130. He can fight inside. He can fight outside. But Abraham Nova is just one of them guys you can't play with because again, he'll hurt you. You know what I mean? Because he's somebody who takes his job serious. He's always in shape. You know what I'm saying? It's just if he's good mentally, then this is going to be a great fight. But if he kind of slow down like I've been seeing him do at around like 7, I think Ray will pull off on him.
I think that's how I think it's gonna be super competitive the first 5 6 rounds. Nova's a fast starter. He let them hands go early, but I think, like you said, slowly but surely he's gonna slow down that pace. Ray's gonna capitalize, and we might even see a knockout. Might
Yeah.
even see a knockout, I believe. Um, Bro, Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. I wasn't expecting Devin to go after a big gun like that.
Hmm.
What do you think about that fight?
I think I was surprised to hear about the fight, but I wasn't surprised to hear about the fight because Devin Haney does things like this. Yeah, I mean, right when we counting him out, he take a fight where it's like, oh shit, that's a risk. You know what I'm saying? Um, Brian Norman, I could see him taking this fight, and I think it's a 50-50 fight. It's not an easy fight for either guy. For Brian Norman is going to have to really get after Devin Haney because Devin Haney is quick on his feet. He got fast hands and he got a sneaky little punch. I ain't gonna say he got a big punch, but he got a sneaky punch. What I mean is, we both know you don't have to be super powerful to hurt a guy. You just gotta hit him right.
At the
You know what I
right
mean?
time?
You hit him in the right spot at the right time. You know what I mean? You could cause damage. At the same time, Brian Norman Jr. is dealing with a big hook. We know he got the big hook, a good right hand, and he could crack you. You know what I mean? We seen him. Now here's the thing: his devastating knockouts or his stoppages been guys we don't really know. So yeah, we see the power, but we don't know if it's at the top level. We don't know if you knocking out the guys like Devin Haney or the guys, like Barrios and stuff like that. So we gotta see it. That's why the fight is so intriguing because we got this kid who been knocking these last couple of opponents out, well, last 3. And then we got Devin Haney, who always been a story. There's always a story with Devin Haney. And people still think the Ryan Garcia stench is lingering over his head. So we got to see if he gonna get past that, and we got to see if Brian Norman can handle that level of boxing.
I feel you.
Hmm.
Let me put you on the spot. Will Errol Spence come back and fight again?
I think so. That's what I'm hearing. I think he will. I think so. I think he missed the sport because at the end of the day, like you said, you said, yo, I was out of the game for a long time. I woke up one day and was like, nah, I gotta fight. So if you felt like that, then other fighters feel like that. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah, for
mean?
sure, for sure.
Because it's just something that's sitting in your heart. And when you reach the level that Earl Spence has reached and the kind of money that he's made, it's like, damn, I missed out on a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a fire there, and I think he will come back.
Does he reluctantly comes back to a tune-up? Because he's always said no tune-up, no tune-up. But he's been out for a minute. Does he come back for a tune-up?
I think he come back and get a fight, a real fight. The reason I say that is because
Off the gate?
the reason I say that is because he doesn't know how to go back. He's had plenty of reason to go back, like go back down in level, and we could have seen him do it, but he always came back and got a good fight. So it's like he only know one way. You know what I mean? Give me and if we be fair, some guys not motivated by stepping down. Some guys is like, man, it gotta be a good one, or I ain't coming out. I can't come out for $1 million. I need 10. I need 5. You know what I'm saying? I gotta come out with somebody that's gonna make me some money. You know what I mean? And that be the motivation for a lot of guys. So I think if Earl come back, it'll be a big fight.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Looking forward to see how that plays out because the way that he lost to Terence Crawford, it was,
Yeah.
when I think about it, when I talk about it with people who actually have been following the sport, it's hard to come up with another fight where an undefeated champion took such a nasty beating.
Yeah,
in this whole generation of boxing. Like we could think, for example, about Floyd Mayweather beating the crap out of Diego Corrales, but that's a
yeah,
long, long time ago, right?
yeah,
A
yeah,
very long time ago.
yeah.
But in this generation, active, I don't think we could think of any undefeated champion who took that nasty of a beating.
No, not like no, not an undefeated champion. No, the only one, the only other fight I could probably think about was Nonito Donaire when he lost to Inoue. I think the second fight, but he got kind of knocked
Oh
out
yeah, he
quick.
got brutalized. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he already had taken a lot of punishment. You know, like he
no,
was
you
later
right.
in his career and had
Yeah,
taken a
you
few
right.
losses. And
What?
even the haters, haters try to discredit him by saying Nonito was washed because his age
Yeah,
at that time. I still consider that a great win though. Nonito, great fight,
yeah.
great fight.
What's the name? Tim Zoo, maybe. Tim Zoo tried to come back.
Damn, he took a nasty beating.
He did.
Not since you mentioned Tinzu, yo, what do you think about this background guy? Mortasalia background, the guy that put the nasty beating on Timmy.
Yeah, I think he a good fighter. It's just that we court him. See, we court light of Bakram at the right time because Tim Zoo was coming off the first Fundora fight. So it was like I felt like Tim Zoo was like, "Yo, I need to get back. I just need to get back." So he wasn't. To me, he wasn't thinking about in that Bakram fight. He just was fighting, and Bakram caught him with some clean shots, and he can fight. I think Bakram is sharp. I think he's sturdy. I think he got a good size,
That
but
size, man, that reach.
I think if Tim Zoo didn't take the loss he took, I think it would have been a different fight. I don't think the fight would have went like that. He might have still won. Barker might have still won, but I don't think it would have looked that bad. You know what I'm saying? But I like Barkram though. I like him a lot.
Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis.
Mm.
We ever gonna see that fight?
I don't know, man.
Oh
It's
man.
it's so much going on. It's so much going on. That's a fight I want to see though. That's a fight that we need. We need that fight for boxing. I hope that we get that fight.
Damn man. What's next for Tank Davis? Is he gonna rematch Lamont Roach? Or is he gonna bypass him and go to 140?
I think Tank will rematch him, but I think the rematch will be next year. I think Tank, I think Tank might fight somebody else just to get the momentum back, and then go fight Lamont next year.
Okay, fair enough. I don't like that. He's gonna look like a duck for now.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, but then with all the shit that he got going on, it's gonna be like I need to just get back in. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
need to feel. I need to feel like the big puncher again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then I think he fight Lamont again.
Boots almost ended up fighting Teofimo Lopez, but he pulled out of negotiations.
Yeah,
What do you think about that fight? Had it happened?
I think for people, they wanted to see it because of the popularity. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I think T.O.'s too small. T.O. T.O. ain't really been hurting people the same as when he was at 35. So you going you fought a few fights at 40. Now you talking about going to 47 to fight Boots. I didn't like that fight. I just was like, I don't see how this is a good fight. I don't see how I respect T.O. I respect T.O.'s skills. I respect what he's done. But if you're not dangerous at 40, you want me to believe you dangerous at 47? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, I think that was just one of those things. Like, it was probably just good to talk about, but I never thought it was gonna happen.
Now I want to hear your thoughts on this though.
Hmm.
When Boots declined the offer that was supposedly sent by Tio side,
Hmm.
right? After that, Teofimo went on to go back and forth with Devin, but he pulled out of that one, right? Check
Hmm.
this out. Teofimo's negotiations with Dev seem to have fell through because he didn't like what Turkey wanted to work with, what Turkey wanted to do. He spoke about it. He said, nah, Turkey also nah. And and then when he pulled out of the fight, Boots said, oh, wait a minute. So Teofimo don't gotta sacrifice his soul, but I got to. So
Mm.
he's suggesting Yana knocking him for pulling out on Turkey. but y'all knocking me for pulling out.
Mm,
But he's not being direct. He just saying he don't have to sell his soul, but I do.
mm.
So I ask you, Greg, what do you think about the impact of His Excellency Turki Alalshikh in boxing? I know he's has made some great fight happens, but there seem to be some little things that people are worried about. What say you?
I think the the fights he's made, I think was great fights. But he doesn't care about the fighters in a sense. He'll put four main event fights on the card, right? And he'll place them wherever he want to place them. The thing is, some of those guys are main event guys. You know what I mean? They really the main event guy. What you do is when you do that, when you put them on the card and you put them as the number two fight and on a four slot, you know what I mean? So you got one, two, and the guys that could be main event and you got them fighting second. What you're doing is you bringing down their value because you say it to yourself as a fan, oh, he not even the main event. He be talking like he a main event guy. But Turkey just doing whatever he wants, so he don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like how he made Hamza Shiraz and
Edgar Balanga.
Edgar Berlanga the main event. Now hold on. I'm not saying they shouldn't have been, but
Not
at
on
the
that
same
card. On
but at
that
the
card, it
same
wasn't the main event.
yeah, but at the same time, it's like, like, you know what I mean? But I get it because Hamza is his guy, and at the same time, Berlanga is from New York. So it's like, all right, I get it. You know what I mean?
But let me say this: the whole narrative that I heard is that he did that because Shakur was gonna put people to sleep, and Berlanga was gonna liven up the show with his homecoming. Meanwhile, we watched Shakur put the beats on Zapata, and Berlanga got slumped.
Yeah,
Hamza Shiraz is the king of New York because of damn Edgar Berlanga right now.
yeah.
Come on, B.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you could tell Turkey, like, Turkey means well with the big fights, but he don't know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, it's a certain way you gotta set shit up, and there's a certain way you gotta do it. Now, here's the thing. I like that he's trying to make these big fights. The problem is he talking to people like they not shit. You can't do that because everybody not going to jump. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I think Tank didn't go over there is because you don't understand who Tank is in America. You don't understand. So you just saying, man, fight Shakur, I'll put it up. But then they like, nah, this fight can generate more than what you talking. You know what I'm saying? You think you talking about a lot of money because you think because Americans, here's the thing. To foreigners, I think Americans will do anything for money. But not everybody's like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, for a certain amount of money, you can bring Tank out. But I don't think he was trying to pay that right away. You know what I mean? Because it was early. He was trying to learn. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they made that big card in Saudi where they had all those fights on there. Andy Cruz was on there, Bud Crawford, Madrimov. You had the heavyweights on there. That was a hell of a card. But if you look, it wasn't like a Tank. You know what I'm saying? Tank is different. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of influence. So I think he don't understand when you put Shakur and Tank together. That's going to be a major fight. That's big money
That's
fight.
the biggest fight in boxing, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's a big money fight. So it's like I like what Turkey trying to do, but he got to learn how to deal with people. He got to learn what's really going on. You know what I mean? So that he can understand what these guys really need to be paid. You know what I mean? Because they will fight each other, but I think it just got to be the right money.
My I like just like you what Turkey's done as far as putting together big fights, putting together big shows. I like what they did in Times Square, real creative. The fighters between the skyscrapers trading leather. I love that look. The idea of them having a card in Alcatraz. I like that look. Like whoa, in this island, a boxing event. So I
Yeah.
see creativity that I like.
Right.
But there's things that worry me, and I'll give you some examples. I notice a lot of fighters after their big fights, they sign their gloves and their gear and give it to Turkey so he can donate it. I honestly don't feel like they want to do that. I feel like they have to do it, and
Mm.
they roll with the punches. Like, yeah, I want to do this. But come on, you a fighter. I'm a fighter. We know that as fighters, you become close to that memorabilia. Them gloves that you punch somebody in the face with, you want to give them shits away.
Mm-hmm.
That outfit that you wore I watched Dimitri Bivol sign the gloves away that he won his undisputed and signed
Mm,
them gloves away and gave it to Turkey as a gift. I don't feel like he really wanted to do that. I feel like he
mm,
just had to do it.
right.
So I feel like Turkey has this type of authority, wants to have this type of authority over fighters
Mm-hmm.
that I don't like. And I think that's what Tank don't like because he made a comment. He said, yo, that shit look like a damn satanic cult. The way he put all the fighters around him, man. He want to take the picture like that. So he presents in a vibe of authority, of I'm all over you. And y'all
Mm,
do what I say, how I say it.
mm.
And that I don't like.
Yeah. And
That
that
part I don't like.
and I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. I feel
Um,
like I
yeah, go
feel
ahead, my
like
bad.
no, I'm just saying I was just piggybacking off of what you said. I feel like he trying to he's buying up everything. He bought the ring, you know what I'm saying, the ring situation and stuff like that. And that's smart because when you do stuff like that, you can control the narrative. But he's wrong about a lot of stuff because he don't know about boxing. He just got some guys, they got some money, you know what I'm saying? He the face of it. And like you said, he trying to he trying to monopolize and make it look like he's the boss. And it's like, bro, that I get it, but it's like nah, because you talking about men. Somebody's gonna always push back. And I think he got mad when Tank was like, nah, like you got to buy me some Ferraris first.
And let me tell you something that His Excellency Turki Alalshikh, the first time that I saw him put the guard down just a little bit was with Canelo Alvarez.
Mm,
He realized, nah, this nigga's too big. I can't play that game with him. Because if you recall, the whole interaction between them started when he said, well, if he knows what's good for him, he gonna sign with me. And Canelo then responded by saying, I don't need him. I, I don't
hmm
need him. I make my money. I don't need him. I don't need
hmm
to. I don't. Yo, Canelo to this day, if you notice, he don't even be calling him His Excellency. He call him Turkey. He be like, no, because Turkey this and Turkey that. He don't even call him that shit.
Yeah.
So Turkey realized now that this dude is not gonna buy in. I'm gonna have to soften up to bring him into the. And what he did, he gave Canelo a 2-fight deal so he could fight Crawford. That Williams Skull fight was a gimme.
Yeah.
Canelo could have fought Crawford in that fight and on that fight date. But Canelo was like, nah, I need 2 bags if I'm gonna fight Crawford. And I'm
hmm
gonna need, I don't know, like 80% of everything that's sold in the venue. Yeah, every soda, I need 80% of that. Every potato chip, every French fry, I'm gonna need 80% of that.
That's
And
crazy.
Turkey realized, damn, yo, I'm gonna have to get this dude what he wants. If I want the biggest fight in boxing, I'm gonna have to give it to him.
Yeah,
He
that's
did.
crazy. That's crazy.
But how many people you're gonna have to understand that if you want to bring Tank Davis to Saudi Arabia, you're gonna have to give him what he wants.
Yeah, real shit.
You wanna have to give it to him. You see, if you would have sent him his 2 damn Ferraris, he would have been fought for y'all niggas.
hmm
But instead, you try to diss him. Oh, I sent you 2 gloves. Okay, no Tank Davis for you, buddy.
Yeah, real rap.
So I think that Turkey he tried to generalize with everybody. Everybody, this was going down right now. But Canelo already showed you that it's not gonna go down like that.
Right,
And I got it. You gonna have to walk with me. So I think that with Tank Davis and with other fighters, he's gonna have to do that too. He's gonna have to say, no, wait a minute, you guys are different. Which, by the way, what do you think? How do you think that TKO league is gonna play out? That Turkey league that's coming up.
I I don't know, man. I've been hearing some things. I've been hearing some good things, but I don't know, man. I think we gotta just wait to see it. I've been hearing good things, but we gotta wait to see how it play out because all right, here's why I think it's good. It's gonna be a lot of guys we don't know right now that we're gonna find out about in that league.
Yeah,
And I
for
and I
sure.
think that's good
That's
because
good.
that's more fighters getting paid. But then I think whoever signs the contract, you won't have no room to argue. You're not gonna be able to negotiate. You know what I mean? Because we told you what it was in the beginning. So I think that's where it's gonna get tight. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think a lot of young fighters are gonna get opportunities, and not just that. There's gonna be also fighters who are at the tail end of their careers who can't get a fight day, who can't get booked, who can't. As a coach, you know that there's fighters who are out there who they can fight, but they just can't get an opponent. So I think a lot of guys will be able to be active because of this league. Here's where I think is gonna turn into an issue. You're gonna sign if you're a talented fighter, right? And they're gonna be that honeymoon stage where you got your signing bonus, you got your little bit of money up front, you're getting some fights. But I think the issue is gonna start when they're gonna have their own league and they're gonna have their own belt. But as you're going up in the ranking as a young fighter, we know we that's in boxing what that green belt really means to everybody
Mm,
who held that green belt,
mm-hmm.
the best of the best. So once you start coming up, if you're actually a talented fighter and you highly ranked for that green belt, are you really gonna be fighting or be motivated to fight for that Turkey belt that has zero history behind it?
Mm.
Ain't nobody win that shit. Nobody know. I don't. Right now, it doesn't even exist. We don't even know what it's gonna look like.
Right.
So as you're climbing up, are you gonna want out of your contract so you can go fight for that real belt, or are they gonna let you fight within their league for their turkey belt, but you can also go fight for the green belt? I don't think so. This is gonna be controversial, maybe, but I don't think so because Dana White is involved in this. And as you know, fighters that are signed to UFC don't fight nowhere ever. Dana White don't allow you to go fight in Pride, go fight boxers. You can't do nothing but fight in UFC.
Mm.
So if you're in Turkey's league where he got his own belt, why would he allow another sanctioning body to make money off of his fights?
Right.
Why y'all gonna go fight with the WBC and cut them or whatever percentages they gonna get if I got my own belt over here and we could keep 100% of this?
Right. Right.
But do you have any information as far as who people in that league are gonna be able to fight? Are they gonna be able to go out and fight within the other sanctioning bodies?
That's a great question, but I don't know. Only thing I seen was like some numbers. I seen like a numbers chart where they were getting like the minimums they would be getting paid, and then and I that was it. That was kind of it. I seen like the minimums chart or whatever, and they uh they were just basically they were just still in the building stages, man. So I don't really know, but that's a great question. I hope they let them do their thing.
Because all everything that I've seen suggests, I don't have any information, but it suggests that they're gonna be their own internal league doing the this side of the the this side of the street kind of stuff.
Right, right.
They
I
trying to
see.
eliminate the other side because why create your own league when you could just promote and fight right here?
Right,
So to me, you creating your own league so you could take out the other sanctioning bodies and work with your shit.
right. That's how I see.
Like I said, if Turkey's gonna have his own belt, which we don't know what it looks like, it doesn't even make no sense for him to allow fighters to fight for the other belts within the other sanctioning bodies where he's not gonna get a cut. You don't get no cut from that.
Right, right. Only thing I think is just I think the only thing I think about it, if you a real fighter and you don't care about the belts, it's a good thing because it's going to give a lot of guys opportunity to get on the stage, at least where they can be seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
now what you now what you do with the opportunity is up to you. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's gonna
That
be it's gonna be crazy though, like you're saying.
and that's why I think that those are gonna be happy to sign in, and there's gonna be fighters because you know that every fighter doesn't have the talent to make it to a world title or to win a title. So there's gonna be guys that will be happy to sign to that league just so that they could stay active, so that they could make money. There's gonna be fighters like that. I just feel like the ones who have that pedigree who signed it to get that opportunity, once they start moving up in the rankings, they're gonna want out because they like, yo, nah, I want that green belt. I want to fight the dudes that's over there.
Right, right. The bigger fights.
Exactly.
But
So I think this league is gonna be good because we'll see a lot of competitive fight. It looks like they want to consistently match up real good fighters. So
yeah,
we might get a guy with 5 losses and a guy versus a guy with 4 losses, but they're both really good. This guy is a former world champion. This guy was highly ranked, and we're gonna get a good fight. So
yeah, I feel it.
so that's what it looks like. They're gonna put together a lot of good fights, but I feel like there's gonna be some standout athletes who are gonna want to pursue a legacy, who are gonna want to pursue big things in boxing. That like how long is it even gonna take for that turkey belt to be taken serious, to have any weight on it?
It might. You know what? With all the talk now about belts don't matter, legacy don't matter. I don't think people really gonna care. I think they just gonna be in it for the opportunity and the money.
No, no, but I mean from the outside looking in, because if you're in the end, you're getting paid. You
Yeah,
getting your money. You know what I'm saying? You out there getting your money. But I'm saying from the outside looking in, when somebody wins a turkey belt, the people that are watching it, how long is it gonna take before people really consider that a legit champion with a legit title? Because
that's
right
it.
now, I don't give a damn about no turkey belt.
That's what I'm saying. So it's gonna be guys like us that's like, man, that's not a real belt. That's not the real belt. But then you're gonna have guys like, well, they said he's a champion. He's a champion. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be tough. I don't know, man. Come on, come on.
Yo, Greg,
Yeah, I can hear you.
somebody somebody asked in the comments. I missed it, but somebody asked, what is up next for Greg Hackett? What is you up to? What you got going on?
I'm just working, man. I've just been doing dealing with the I've been dealing with the YouTube stuff, because my mom was sick, so I had to help out my mom. So I ain't really been in the gym too much. But I mean, I got something coming up. I got something coming up. Yeah, I mean, coaching wise, it's a good fight.
All right. You already know. You already know.
Soon as it's announced, I'll tell everybody.
I hope after you announce it, you could come through and we could politic for a bit about that.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So my peoples, y'all already seen it, man. This was another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Tonight, your boy JSmiff is gonna be calling these fights live. Yo, Greg, I don't know if you've seen it, man, but I'll be calling these fights. You gotta see what's going on, man. You
So
gotta see what's going on.
you gonna do the live stream?
Yeah, I'm gonna be live tonight for these fights.
Okay, bet. All right, bet. I'm
All right,
I,
yo, Greg.
I'm gonna
Again, my
stop through.
brother.
Appreciate you.
Hold on. Let me take this shit off, baby. My brother.
Yeah, appreciate you.
I appreciate you tuning in, checking in with me this morning. You already know what it is, my G. I appreciate you.
Got you. No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Greg Hacker right there. Y'all know how he do. Y'all know that's a coach right there. Y'all know that's the expert. Y'all know that's the boxing insider. You better show some respect. This is Boxing for Breakfast. Yo, Greg, let's get the hell out of here, man. We got a day to handle business.
For sure, my man. I see you.
Bam.
Yep.